Listen at 610 AM, 102 FM.
I listen, therefore I know.
Online at kvnutalk.com and on the KVNU mobile app.
I listen on the app.
KVNU News Time is 5:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Logan Dental Associates. The sole occupant of one vehicle involved in a two-car crash just east of Ogden Tuesday morning reportedly became pinned to the highway's guardrail during the collision, which was thought to be prompted by slick road conditions. Representatives of the Weber Fire District said that multiple agencies responded to the crash in the area of Trappers Loop just after 8 a.m., including Utah Highway Patrol, UDOT, and the Weber County Sheriff's Office. Ogden City Fire and Riverdale City Fire heavy rescue units were also dispatched through there, though their assistance was later called off. Upon arrival, crews reported that there were single occupants in both vehicles, one who was pinned against the guardrail and required extrication. Respondents with Weber Fire District successfully removed the patient from the vehicle, who was then transported to the hospital via ambulance. There was no information provided on the patient's condition. KVNU News Time is 5:06. KVNU weather tonight, mostly cloudy, 30% chance of snow showers this evening. Colder, overnight low near 20. Cloudy in the morning, then partly cloudy skies. High temperature around 30. 30% chance of snow showers developing Thursday night. And then on Friday, snow showers with accumulations possible. High temperature in the mid-30s. It's been to 37. Right now it's 32 at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Get prepared for cold and snow. Save up to $16 on a pair of Rain-X wiper blades or take the $10 instant rebate on a set of Napa Exact Fit wiper blades. Also get 50 pounds of ice melt, $10 a bag at your 5 locally owned Preston to Providence Napa Auto Parts stores.
So many times at the end of the year we hear, wow, had I known I would have come in sooner. Anyway, can we get it done before the end of the year? Hi, it's Dr. Brandon Preby from Logan Dental Associates and Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond. We want to help you utilize your benefits and get the best care possible without pain or discomfort and make it affordable. Often insurance or health savings is part of that plan. Please call today for your appointment with Dr. Taylor, Larson, Harris, or Preby. Let's get you the care you need before the end of the year. Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond or Logan Dental Associates in Logan.
KVNU News Time is 5:07. Utah's economy is starting to slow down, according to data from the state. Last month, Utah saw an increase of 2.6% in non-farm payroll jobs, which translates to about 43,000 more jobs compared to last year. Benjamin Crabb with Utah's Department of Workforce Services says despite Utah experiencing historically low unemployment in a tight labor market, he believes the state is well positioned going into 2023.
Ratio of job openings to unemployed workers in the state is at historical highs. It's at about 3 job openings per worker right now. The national level is also elevated, but it's at about 1.5 openings per unemployed worker.
Crabb says the high level of job openings is starting to trend down slightly as monetary conditions tighten at the federal level. He says this most recent report is no cause for concern and shows Utah's economy is still managing to expand despite current conditions. Utah has also seen a significant flux of migration into the state. According to estimates from the University of Utah's Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute, the state added more than 70,000 people since the 2020 census. Crabb says some of the sectors with the biggest year-over-year job gains were in construction, education, and health services, trade, transportation, and utilities, as well as hospitality. Professional business services and financial activities were the only sectors which saw contractions in the last 12 months.
Real estate lending in particular has been hit, over the last year as the interest rates have risen. Mortgage rates have hit around 7%, levels not seen for years.
Crabb says the current surplus of Utah job openings could diminish if the country were to slide into a recession, but he says the job surplus would help protect the state before real job losses are seen. And a police canine was critically injured, and a man was fatally shot by police after he reportedly entered a stranger's home and engaged in a car chase with officers. Around 7:30 p.m. Monday night, police were called to the Hurricane Cemetery in southern Utah on reports of a man who claimed he was being threatened. The man was later identified as 46-year-old Jose Pascasio. Police say he was a Hurricane resident. Officers found Pascasio in the middle of a street in Hurricane. When they approached him, Pascasio started yelling and drove his Toyota minivan at police before fleeing from the scene. He drove into oncoming traffic, hitting another vehicle before crashing. Officers said they checked the minivan but didn't find him inside and didn't know where he went. Police report a short time later they received a call from a family stating that an older, mid-40s Hispanic gentleman only speaking Spanish had just walked into their home. The family of four was able to get out of the home safely. When officers arrived, they had canine officer Rico with them, and he entered the home. While confronting Pascasio, the canine was stabbed in the neck, and the suspect was fatally shot. Officer Canine Rico was driven to an emergency veterinary hospital in Las Vegas, and police say survived. KVNU News Time is 5:11. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com.
News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
Cubex Fitness is offering their best deal of the year. For a limited time, become a Cubex member and get your first 2 months for free. Then only pay $15 per month with no contract. Receive the Cubex Nutritional Guide ebook for free. Work out at Cubex with their virtual trainers in complete privacy, without any concerns or distractions or comparisons. Make 2023 your year. Achieve your goals at Cubex Fitness in Logan. $75 cancellation fee at time of cancellation.
Hey everybody, John Weiss with Heritage Jeep. Well, we made it. 2022 is coming to an end, and to celebrate, we're going out with a bang at the Jeep 2022 Big Finish event. Don't miss your last chance to score a great deal on one of the legendary Jeep vehicles, like $3,500 cash allowance on one of the toughest and most versatile Jeep vehicles yet, the rugged 2022 Jeep Gladiator. Visit us at heritageeprice.com or come visit us in Brigham City, Tremont, or Logan. Heritage Jeep, your hometown dealer with the biggest deals.
It's been a year filled with incredible relationships. For the team at Smart Construction, building your custom home is the reason they get up each day and do what they love to do. Thank you from the Smart Construction team. Whether it's a gorgeous lakefront home in Bear Lake or a luxury mountain retreat, we invite you to see their work online, smartconstructionbearlake.com, or follow them on Instagram at Smart Builder. Smart Construction would love to build your dream. Make the smart choice. Choose Smart Construction.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, Edward Jones agrees, and they can help. Together, they'll give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by your local Edward Jones office, one of 7 locations in Cache Valley. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
It's never too late or too cold to get rid of that old vehicle. Now is the time to earn extra cash by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles by paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People, hour 2 of today's show, Wednesday, December 28th. And, man, it is hard to get guests this week.
Everybody's partying with.
That's right.
Everybody's partying with family and stuff.
And I don't blame them. But, notoriously, this is one of the toughest weeks of the year for us to get guests on the show because folks are busy. But that does give me a lot of time to talk about things that I've let go or skipped over or that aren't necessarily pressing news but have interested me. And part of that has been, so our friend Eric from Full Court Press and one of the program directors here at the Cache Valley Media Group sent out a request last week, as he does every year about this time, for us to all send in, our big stories of the year, what we thought were the biggest stories of the year. And then, of course, they look at traffic and sharing data from CacheValleyDaily.com. We've got some of that from our own, coverage here at KVNU to contribute as well. And they put all this together, and then they come up with the top 10 stories for Northern Utah of the year. And so if you'd like to contribute to that, you can shoot emails in. If you shoot them to me at kvnuftp@gmail.com, I'll record them myself and then make sure that email gets passed on to the news team at Cache Valley Daily, and it gets included in that. But I want to hear, not just the stories that you thought were the biggest as far as the attention it got, but stories that you thought were the most important for one reason or another. Maybe it was a bad story. Maybe it was a good story. Maybe it's a story that didn't get a lot of traction, was come and gone very quickly from the news cycle in less than an afternoon, but you feel it was a very impactful story. That's what I'd like to hear from our listeners. So 753-5868 if you'd like to weigh in on air. Email them in to kvnuftp@gmail.com. In the hour one, I mentioned one of my top stories of the year. In fact, I'm going to put that as the top story of the year for me. And it was one that played out over several months and had many different reports and angles and events, including the first time in history, as far as I know, that the Cache County Council called a press conference. And a lot of people, understandably, have rolled their eyes at some of this. I myself have called it an issue of egos more than anything else with the council. But this back and forth between the executive office and the council over the last year, I'm calling it the top story of the year for me as far as impact goes, because not only did it get a lot of attention and lead to a write-in campaign, which was unsuccessful, and the re-election of the county executive with a clear mandate from voters, it wasn't close, and also, with 3 outgoing council members, 3 incoming council members who have pledged to not repeat some of the behavior of the council that has taken place this year, and then getting elected on that message. I'm calling this top story of the year not because it was dramatic, not because we rarely see fights and disagreements like this happen in county government or city government here in Cache Valley often. Those are all true things. But I'm calling it my top story of the year because it brought to the surface some long-running issues about checks on council power, checks on executive power. It brought to the forefront issues about funding. An audit that kind of started all this and made the council mad, showing that the council had basically been raiding the budget of the recorder's office to backfill the county budget. These types of audits and transparency are important. They shouldn't be resisted. They should be a regular part of county government, and kudos to, unfortunately now, because of all this, partly, outgoing Cache County Clerk and Auditor Jess Bradfield for bringing those audits back. Unfortunately, the audits kind of started all this, but they're necessary. They need to happen on a regular basis, and I hope whoever ends up replacing the Cache County Clerk and Auditor Jess Bradfield is as dedicated to these audits, despite all this drama, as he was. And also kudos to him for bringing the office online, finally. That's a big step, long overdue. I think it was a good year for Cache County at large, despite all of the drama. And the drama itself, again, brings to the forefront some long-running questions and some debates we probably should be having. I don't personally think we're there yet, but I think the big question this raises is it time to start calling the county executive a county mayor? Other counties have had to do this for the same reasons that we just watched happen over the last year. where you have maybe a council that feels like, they call all the shots, forgetting that there's actually a system designed to provide a check against them. But unfortunately, because of the way it's worded in ordinance or code, it's vague. And so at times they can treat the executive like an administrator. Other times they treat the executive like a mayor, depending on when it's best for them or convenient for them. Maybe it's time for that to end. Maybe it's time to just call it a county mayor. I don't know. I know that eventually we'll have to. I don't know if we're there yet. Either way, this whole theatrical presentation over the last year that I shouldn't laugh at, because unfortunately I've heard from county employees this has been traumatic for a lot of employees. There has been turnover. Again, it's led, at least in part, to the resignation of, I think, so far, a very successful and almost visionary Cache County clerk and auditor. And we're losing that person over all this. So there are some serious ramifications to this. It's not a joke. But I call it the top story of the year because it brought these issues to the forefront, and we need to be talking about these things. Just like the Logan City debate over by district or at large representation of council members. I don't think anytime something, a proposed change that makes sense or has some meat to it comes up, and it meets with resistance from the cozy governing body, I'm suspicious, and I want that debate to happen even more because of that. When it comes to district by district or at large representation for Logan, I'm on the fence. I feel like there are pros and cons to both sides, but I feel like the debate is important. And when it got resistance from some council members, I wanted the debate to happen even more. I feel the same way about this. The county council trying to stifle the county executive for acting more aggressively within the scope of his office raised my suspicion, and I think with good reason. And I think that the council has enjoyed a bit too much comfiness over the years. These things are healthy. They're good. It might not play out in a positive way. It might lead to negative headlines or negative stories or even some dramatic and unfortunate events that happen in offices or behind the scenes between staffers. That is unfortunate when that happens. But the overall, I think, is good because it's bringing these things to the surface, and we should be talking about these things. The status quo can't always remain, period. I don't know when it has to change, but